I was thinking last night, what are the main things that I would tell my younger self if I could go back in time? What are the main things that I would tell myself, probably, a younger me in my 20s? The first thing I would tell myself is that you have to channel your energies in the right direction, okay? And focus really on one thing at a time. Now, there's situations where, once you're on top of your life and you're sort of pretty well balanced, you can take on other tasks. But for most people in their 20s, I think that's not really a thing. I mean, for me, I was very fucking, I had some shit to iron out, shall we say. But focusing on one thing at a time. They say the man who chases two rabbits catches none. And that was definitely true for my case. I always felt at that time like I was a jack of all trades and a master of none. Do you know what I mean? Because I wasn't focused enough on one thing. And it was detrimental. So that is the first thing I would tell my younger self. The second thing I would tell my younger self is to maintain your fitness at all times, okay? I know I talk about it a ridiculous amount on this channel, and that's because it's important. You have to maintain your health, okay? If I could go back and slap my younger self when he started doing drugs or smoking or drinking alcohol, I would 100% do it. But even, in the process of quitting all those things, I still wasn't consistent in the gym all the time. The times when I was boxing, I'd be training really fucking hard for like 3 to 6 months, and then I'd get a fight out of the way, and then I wouldn't train for a month or two. Do you know what I mean? And that's the worst thing. Another thing is like stopping training at Christmas. Don't ever do that. Never, ever, ever. It's like a fucking huge concrete ball. Do you know what I mean? Your fitness, and all the time you fucking got it going, you just got to touch it. It keeps rolling. But as soon as you stop, you then fucking struggling to get that momentum going again. So that's the second thing that I would tell myself. I just touched on it in the last point, but the third thing that I would tell my younger self is to never ever touch drink or drugs. Now, I had a lot of good experiences in my younger years. It all started off very, very fun, but it didn't end that way. And I'm not saying that's the case for every person, because everybody's different. People will use substances in different ways. But if you've suffered trauma in your life, or, if you're using it as a fucking coping mechanism, basically, the likelihood is it's going to be destructive, and it's probably not going to end well. In terms of psychological damage, I mean, as well as psychological damage and, effects on your body, your mind and your spirit, also financially, I could not tell you, like, the thousands that I've wasted. I know people that have wasted even more, hundreds of thousands. It's in that I could have bought fucking multiple houses. Okay, so I always try to think about things like that as well. How is it going to affect you financially? Even if let's just say you just go out drinking once a week, okay, and you go out and get obliterated with your boys or whatever, or your friends, you spend 100 quid a week, okay, every week, okay, regardless. That's 5,200 a year, okay? So if you didn't do that for 4 years, you could pretty much get a mortgage on a flat. Now, I know mortgages are not for everyone. I'm just saying, if just look in the longer term of things rather than just, oh, it's all right, it's just 100 quid this week. Yeah, it is just this week and it's only £400 a month, but look over the long term, okay, and see the damage that you do in your pocket. If you're an older person like I am, you don't have £5,200 to waste on that shit. You just don't. I mean, even so, if you're younger, it's so hard though when you're young, do you know what I mean? Because you haven't lived through things yet. You don't know. You just think, oh, it's okay, everything's going to be all right. Which most of the time it is, you know, things are all right in the end, but they don't always work out that way, trust me. So do try to think about your, you know, the effects that your habits have on your pocket, which is the perfect segue into the fourth thing that I would tell my younger self. Be a saver or an investor, okay? Now, investing fucking 20 quid a week into the stock market is not going to make you a millionaire, okay? But if you were going to put your money anywhere, depending on the timing, obviously you wouldn't have want to fucking start investing in 2019, do you know what I mean? Because you would have lost everything because of the crash after COVID. But right now is a very fucking good time to start really investing, especially if you're young, you know? If you're going to put your money anywhere, put it where it can grow, you know? Your money in the bank is fucking absolutely useless. You know, with the rate of inflation, you're basically losing money if you put it in the bank. So put it somewhere where it can grow and beat inflation. That's all I'm saying. The fifth thing that I would tell myself in my 20s is don't settle down too young. Now, I didn't really settle down too young. I had my son when I was 29. Okay, so I wasn't really too young, but I wasn't set up. You know, I wasn't set up financially. So it's been very, very hard at times, and it still is. I'm not going to lie. You know, don't settle down too young. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, some people, they only want to have a family and they only want to have kids, and it's a very, very beautiful thing, you know. But if you really want to bring a life into the world, you should make sure that you have a good financial foundation. Do you know what I mean? You're making a certain amount of money. To be honest, I wouldn't even contemplate it right now for you if you weren't making more than £1,000 a week. So if you weren't taking home £1,000 a week, I wouldn't even think about it. That's the advice that I would give you. Just say, you know, you don't want your life to suffer because you have kids. And I don't mean that like in a selfish way. You want to be able to provide the best life for them too. And you owe it to them, and you owe it to yourself to do things in the right way. So make sure that you have a good life set up before you think about having a family. The sixth thing that I would tell my younger self in my 20s is that there is absolutely no limit to what you can do, to what you can achieve. You know, I didn't understand this until the last couple of years, really. And it's sad, you know, some people, I didn't have that mind state as a younger person, you know. It's like a sort of fucking cliche thing, isn't it? You know, you can do it if you fucking really put your mind to it. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. And you can, 100%. You know, you have to believe in yourself. It's like a fucking mantra. Do you know what I mean? You need to believe in yourself 100% all the time, okay? Have faith in what it is you're trying to achieve. Have faith in your vision, you know, and understand that as long as you stay the course, not only can it happen, it has to happen, okay? So always, always believe in yourself. Point number 7 is I would tell my younger self to maintain a spiritual life. Now, I don't know what that means to you, you know. I don't know if you believe in God or, you know, if you're spiritual in any sort of way, okay? For me, I went to a church school in primary school. My parents were Catholic, not religious, like overly religious Catholic, but they were from a Catholic background, you know, and it kind of meant something. It meant something at that time. So like I used to pray when I was younger. And then when I got into like secondary school, so by the time I was like 12, I basically stopped. You know, I was an atheist for like pretty much all of my life, okay? But in the last, you know, I'd say about 2.5 years, I'd started praying again and meditating, and it's been so beneficial. You know, life has literally never been better than it has been in that period of time. So I would say find your own religion, whatever that means to you. Find something to fucking believe in. Find something even just inside of yourself. If you just close your eyes and say thanks for things, you know, thanks for having a roof over your head, thanks for having food in your cupboards, you know, it could be something as simple as that. If you don't like meditating, go for a run, do something to just really get you breathing deeply, you know. Super helpful. So I would tell my younger self, keep fucking meditating, keep praying. Point number 8 that I would tell my younger dumb self in his 20s is that money is not the goal, okay? Money is just an object. It's not the object. It's not the objective, okay? I've said this before as well, but if, you know, I don't doubt that money will make your life easier. And at times when I've had a lot of it, things, you know, I had to worry less about bills, you know, shit like that. That's, you know, that's what money is. It's just less worry, basically. I don't necessarily think it buys you happiness, you know, it buys you experiences and less worry. But life's still gonna fucking happen, okay? All your loved ones, everyone you know, including yourself, are all gonna be dead. I don't want to be insensitive, but it's a fucking fact of life, okay? And, you know, money is not going to buy you all the fucking happiness that you want, you know? But you need to have enough of it so that, say, if your mum dies tomorrow, you've got enough money to pay for the funeral, you know? You need enough to cover things. But it's not your primary objective as a human being to fucking just consume shit and try and make a ton of cash. That's not, I'm pretty fucking sure that's not why we're here. You know? And the thing is that in my younger years, I didn't give a fuck about money. I really didn't. And I think that was a good thing. But now, you know, I need more money. But to be honest, I'm well provided for. I have every single thing that I need, okay? And my family does too. My kids don't want for anything. Anything they want within reason, I can go and get. But money is not the fucking object. It's a weird one. Do you know what I mean? Because we need it to survive. It's a massive part of our lives. So it doesn't make any sense. Try and tell the person in the fucking queue at the food bank that money's not everything. It doesn't make any sense. All I know is that when I'm chasing it, when I'm trying to fucking really trying, and it's, you know, consuming me, that I need to have more, I need to get more, I'm less happy, and other things suffer. Okay, my relationships suffer. Sometimes even my health will suffer. So bear that in mind. Money is not the object. Point number 9 that I would tell my idiotic younger self. If there's no real fucking order to these points, but if there was a number 1 point, it would be this one. Don't be a fucking dickhead, okay? Don't be a dickhead. It's not hard. It's simple, you know. What you do will come back to you, okay? What you put out into the world will come back to you. You can believe in law of attraction or not, but let's just say you go to your busy town centre, into a fucking shopping mall, okay? And you hold up a sign that says free hugs, okay? Or I love you, fancy a free hug. The type of energy that you get from that is going to be very different to the energy that you get if you sat there with a sign saying, you're a dickhead, I'm going to punch you in the face. See, you know, see what happens if you just go and stand in a busy place and just write dickhead on a piece of paper and just hold it up to people, okay? It's energy at the end of the day. And that's probably a bit of a weird way of explaining it. But, you know, I was a fucking dickhead and I did a lot of stupid shit. A lot of stupid shit. And it's the hard way of living at the end of the day. It's hard. It's so much easier to be a fucking decent human being than it is to be a complete moron. Okay? It takes fucking effort to be a complete dickhead. Okay? So don't be a dickhead. Don't be a fucking dickhead, okay? Be a good dude. Be a good person, okay? And not in the way where, you know, you're selfishly being nice so that good can come back to you. Do it because you want to do it, because it's the right thing to do, okay? Don't be a dickhead.